Alright, good morning. Today on Random Acts of Carving, we're going to be working on a little hiking stick topper. I cut a little piece off of that catalpa tree I was working on a couple weeks ago. It was hollow on the bottom, so I'm going to make a hiking stick topper. The stick's actually going to go here, and then this is going to be a little bear hanging on the stick. So hopefully this works out good, and we'll see what we can do. So here we go. Alright, so we're starting out carving the bear. This is kind of a weird direction to carve with the way this grain is going, but this wood felt pretty strong the other day. I did that wood spirit on it out of the same stick. Felt like it was pretty good, and then I actually took, before I started carving this, and drilled up into the bottom of this with a spade bit, and it didn't blow apart. So where I drew, I figured it would catch. If it was weak at all, it would just explode, but it didn't. So we're gonna give it a shot. Like I said, this was a pretty hard piece of wood, and then I was just trying to cut those front legs back. Digging his nose out there a little bit, but I wanted his legs back behind the nose. Wasn't sure if I was going to have enough wood there because this thing was kind of hollow, but it was just barely enough. No pun intended. Didn't really have a reference picture for this one. Just kind of trying to make it look somewhat like a bear laying on across the end of a stick. So once I get it carved a little bit, kind of roughed out, then I'll set it on the stick and kind of see how it's going to work out. I know I have some new carvers that are watching the channel, and I know it seems like you just got to get in and just copy everything, try to do everything exactly like somebody else did. It's neat to go and look at how other people carve stuff, and see how they did it. That's a really great idea to figure out how they carve things out. But then it's fun when you can take a piece of wood and just kind of gnaw away at it and make it look like something. Make your own piece. So once you get a couple of the basics down on how to make a face, how to make a bear face and stuff like that, and you can make the body pretty much any shape you want, as long as it has legs and it's kind of round in the back. It looks like a bear. Now, once you do a couple on your own, then you kind of start to believe that you can do it, and then it becomes a lot more fun. If you start with the free wood like this, then it's not a big expense. If you mess something up, you can always burn it. But you'll find it rarely you get past where you can where it's salvageable. Just about every time I do a carving, it gets to this point here, and I'm like, man, I don't know if this is gonna work. Then you just keep carving away, and eventually it starts looking like something. You gotta try not to make them look too thick sometimes. Sometimes you don't carve enough away, and everything gets it's too big and bulky. You need to just keep going on it and get it down to where it looks nice. This stick here didn't look anything like a bear whenever I started, but I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it look like a bear. But cartoon bears, you just have to have some of the details. You don't have to make it all shaped exactly like a bear. This is a piece of that catalpa wood that I used for the wood spirit a few weeks ago, and they said it's pretty hard. They use this for fence posts, so it's pretty stout. Even just the legs, being that they had that cross grain going across them, they still felt really strong. My sister's going to have to do a little bit of whittling on the stick that she has up in Pennsylvania just to make it fit inside the bear, to get rid of the gaps underneath. But I think it'll be. She's fully capable of it, and I think it'll turn out really nice. The grain on this piece really looked neat on the bear whenever I started putting fur on him. You'll see gave the fur a really nice texture. I took a burr that had kind of a flat end on it. It did have teeth on the end, but it was kind of like a barrel, and dug out the inside of there a little bit where I had drilled out, but it was just give it a little more room. Now it's how it sat on the stick there. This drum that I have on here now is it's called a Whisper. It just has real fine teeth on it, and I'm just using it to kind of sand it and smooth out all my little bumps. So I'm going to put a fur texture on here, so I'm not going to worry about sanding him real smooth, just getting the ripple bumps out of him. Carving in some little feet pads. This is one of those rare opportunities you'll see me use a ball just for doing the inside of the ears. I like using a little ball to clean that up, but don't use those very often. Gonna add a little tail onto them, and I think we'll start adding some fur. Here I'm just using the that little wheel shaped thing on the end of there. It's a diamond grit bit with a big wheel end on it. Just got to remember to keep your fur going in the direction it goes on the bear. I had to push pretty hard to get that to dig into this wood. Wasn't putting much of a line in there, just running it back and forth. The rings of the green with the soft and hard layers are giving the fur a lot more dimension. You can see in the back there, making those lines, those rings around his backside. Gave the fur a pretty neat look. Yeah, we're gonna start painting them up. This one was a lot of fun to carve. Nice little change of pace. And hope you enjoyed watching this one, and hope I get a few of you to get out there in the shed or get outside and pick up some carving tools and try to make something. This is just acrylic paints that I'm using. Just putting a base coat of the like a light mixing these colors together to get a light tan color for him. And doing his nose and ears with the darker brown. Have a little bit of black on there too, also for his eyes, and just to make the dark paints darker. Here I'm just taking, so I had that light tan all over him. It was pretty dry, so I made a darker brown wash. And just going over it and then letting that dark paint kind of go down into all the deep parts of the fur. Darken them up quite a bit and give them a lot more depth. I'm painting the underside of him where he's going to get glued onto the stick. I'm painting him black underneath there, so whenever he's on the stick, anywhere there's any gaps or whatever, it'll kind of just disappear into that black. You really won't be able to see anything. Just going in and darken up some of the crease lines in it, and then you'll be done. Oh, I highlight a little bit with a little bit of the white, just in a few spots. Alright, well, I got the little bear carving done. This thing turned out pretty awesome. This is actually going up to Pennsylvania to my sister. This is not going to be the stick that it's on, but this is basically just what it's going to look like when it's on her. I just made it so she can glue it on there with a little bit of epoxy, and it'll be ready to go. It'll be ready to go hiking. So I think it turned out awesome. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.